Hey everyone, so I haven't made a video in I think 3 months or something, but I finally have a day off today and a ton of cards built up, so I am so excited to put all of these away today. The majority of the cards here are for Cravity and ateez, but I do have a few other groups in here as well. First, we'll start out with WHEEEE, where I have a substantial amount of album cards because I'm really trying to finish this collection. I'm so close. I'm only missing like 5 album cards now. I just need this done because I've been working on this for so long. So one big change I've made with this collection is I've put all of the sets into layouts where all 4 members are on the same page, as opposed to what I was doing before where I had like 2 members per page in columns. So now everything is all 4 members sharing the same page, just like I do all of their merch items. The only ones that aren't like that is the first page where I just have these random cards. But starting here, I have Yeonjung's Pink Back Would You Please card. And this is truly my favorite Yeonjung card of their entire discography. This card is so stunning. And that completes this page. And then there's a bit of a difference of what's going on here because I'm not collecting all 4 members of both of these 2 sets. So this is the leftover set where I'm only collecting 2 members of each, so they kind of just share the page. But yeah, this is Would You Please and Would You Stay together. But for this page, I have Yeonjung's Greenback Would You Please. So the only Yeonjung card I'm missing is this one for this album. Then moving on, I have 2 of Dawon's Would You Stay cards. So I have this one, which completes this page. And I have this one. And then I also have Yeonjung's Would You Stay card for this page as well. And I'm just missing this Unso and this Unso still for Would You Stay. But this set is complete, and this one is so nice. I think it's my favorite set out of all 3. Then for the summer, I have this one Dawon. Then As You Wish, I have this Dawon, which I originally wasn't collecting, but I bought it for really cheap and just wanted to finally get that card because this is my favorite era and that's my favorite version. So for now, it's gonna sit here. On this page, I used to have this Daeon card, which looked a lot better because it had the matching background to all of these 3. But I'm happy to have that card anyway, even if it doesn't look as cohesive. And then the last bunch of cards I have are for Neverland and Unnatural. I'm actually completing Neverland with these 2 cards because these 2 sets were already done. And then for this page, I have the final Sola and Dawon for the blue backs. This Sola was literally so hard to get because it looks so similar to this one, but I finally managed to find it. And this Dawon was actually gifted to me, so that was so nice to that person who messaged on Instagram. And then last cards are for Unnatural. So I have both of Yeonjung's of the red backs, and these 2 cards are almost identical. Trying to find both of these cards and distinguish which one I already had was probably the hardest 2 cards I've had to out of this collection. But with that, both of these 2 cards complete her set. It's kind of unfortunate though because her cards don't match the other 30 where they have a very white background. Hers is more colorful. Actually, her card from all 3 sets does not match the rest. Like this one has a blue background and these are all not blue. And then for this one, these 30 are all on a white wall again and hers is not. So yeah. But for this page, I have the other solo card, which also looks identical to that one. They're just slightly different. And the last card I'm missing for this page is this one, but I actually already have it on the way. And with that, those were all of the album cards I had for WJSN. I'm really only missing 5 cards for this whole collection. So this Yeonjung, and then 2 Unsos from Would You Stay, Yeonjung for the summer, and then this final Unso card for Unnatural. And then after that, my whole album card collection will be complete for what I wanted to collect, because I'm not collecting them all in full, it's just the cards I really like. Okay, it's literally the next day now, but I have the Dawon card I was waiting for in the last clip that has now arrived, and I also found some pobs I forgot to put away. so we can do that now. And this Dawan, a natural card, finishes this set. And it was also the final Dawan card I needed for my whole collection. So she is now complete and I'm so excited. Then moving on, I have two Pobs for Sequence, which are Sola and Enso's MMT cards. And I always wanted these because they're in the outfits from when they performed Easy. And I'm going to put them with the two I already had of Dawan and Yeonjung. So I'm going to move these cards off of this page and reorganize these two. So we have the stronger unit and then the easy unit. And now I have my whole top four for this set. And then for this page, I'm going to move these two cards on this page and just take out some of these because I never actually really liked these cards that much. So I'm just going to take out Sola and Enso. Not that I don't like these cards, but they just look like album cards, so I'm not that fussed with keeping them. And then I'm going to put these cards here. And there we go. Just a few more Pobs to finish out this era that I always wanted. And that is everything I had for this binder. And then the last card I have is for my non-album binder. And it's this Dawan Season's Greeting Pob from, I believe, Soundwave. And this is one of my favorite looks of her ever. I loved the yellow sweater and the ponytails, so I really wanted this card. And it's just gonna go on this page with some of my other random non-album cards. And that is the last card I had for them. Man, in the amount of time that I have made a video, the amount of stuff that has come out or that happened with WJSN, like, I don't even really know what to make of it all still at this point, but I think it all worked out. We'll see if this collection ever expands because I'm kind of confused with the status of everything, but hoping for the best. Next up, I'll put away ateez, where I have this pretty big stack for them. So this will be a bit out of chronological order, but firstly, I just need to put away the last album cards from Spinoff. And it's actually kind of mind-boggling these have not been put away yet because I have had these last 5 album cards for like 4 months at this point, and I cannot believe these have never been put away because I had all 5 of these cards within the week that I filmed my last During Photocards video, and that was 3 months ago. But what I have is all the last 5 cards I needed for the Poca version. So the first card I have is Yuno's Fave card from version A, which completes this set. And then I have Hongjoon and Seonghwa's selfie cards, which completes this one. And then the last 2 cards I have are the selfie cards for version Z, where I have Yuno and Strawberry Yo. I love this set a lot, but literally what happened here. Whoever in the creative director team was choosing the selfies for this set, something went severely wrong here. I mean, the card is cute, but those are finally the last 5 album cards I needed for Spinoff. They needed to be put away months ago. But going backwards, I now have a few more Pob sets for Movement, which I've also had for Lord knows how many months. So the first one is Make Star version 6. These 2 sets pretty much look the same, but I didn't really plan on collecting OTA of either of them. I just kind of found sets and decided to keep them all. And here is Make Star 6. And these cards look pretty much the same, but they are from a different day because you can tell they all have different hairstyles. So, and this is actually my favorite of the 2. I just think these ones look nicer together. And this is Beat Road version 4. And here's the set. I think Mingy is my favorite card at the set. I love this purple glove. But yeah, those are the last 2 sets I had for Movement Era, which is like a year old at this point. So cannot believe I still had cards for this, but that's finally this era complete. And literally Movement EP2 is already coming out in like 2 weeks. So there's that. And the album specs for that album literally just make me want to quit collecting forever, but we'll see what I end up collecting for that album because I honestly have no clue and I'm kind of just over it at this moment. So I don't know. Then moving back to spin-off, I have a bunch more POBs that I was collecting. Okay, so this first page is for photocards I only collected 2 members of, and I think these had an order. So the first 2 cards I have, I think, are the MakeStar version 5 online. And then the next ones are MakeStar V30 offline, which I decided to collect Mingy for this one because I just think this card is so nice. And I really don't care which member I collect for the second one. It's just the ones that I think look best with San. And then lastly, I have MakeStar V30 online. These 2 look like album cards, but I joined Goes for these so early that I just decided to keep them. So here is this page, and I think it looks really symmetrical and nice because these are all pretty much plain backgrounds and then these ones are brown, and I really love this page. And then for the MakeStar Lucky Draw PCs, I have San's bunny card now, and then I had Sungwon for the last video. I just took him out, but I'm gonna put it back in. And then I have San for this corner. And the way I'm only putting this in now, but I have had this for the last 4 months. So finally get to see it put away. That is all of the spin-off POBs I had, and pretty much all the ones I plan on collecting for this era. I collected a lot less, but this was just a single album, and I really did not need to spend that much for this. Yeah, these are all the POB sets I collected. Wasn't too many, but I'm really happy with the ones I did collect, and I really loved the cards for this era, especially all the OT8 sets, and that's why I decided to collect OT8 for this era, since I hadn't done that in like 3 eras or something. That was all the album cards I had. And the last bit of cards I have for ateez are some non-album cards. So the first 4 I have are San and Wooyoung's Snowman Winter MD. 2 of these are the ones that came with their photo set packs, and the other 2 are the pre-order benefit gift or something if you spend a certain amount. And I think these PCs are super cute, especially the Polaroids and postcards that came with these. So here is this page. And then the last set I have are the Valentine's cards. I'm not really sure what this came with. I think it was just some kind of merch drop release or something. But this is one of my favorite photo card sets in forever, so I had to have these. These are so adorable. I love that they're so cozy looking. And even though they're not pink or red, these really scream Valentine's Day to me, so I just had to have this set. They're so adorable. With that, those are the last ateez cards I had. Okay, welcome back to this video. For you, it's been like 2 seconds, but for me, it's been yet another month since that last clip. But anyway, going to continue on. Next up, I have cards for CIX. At this point, I genuinely have no clue what my last video was, but probably since that time, I saw CIX in concert. Talking about it now is really weird because in my head, I saw them like a billion years ago, but I don't think I ever brought this up. But yeah, I saw them in Dallas and they were amazing, as expected. And for this binder, I just have a few cards. So the first one I have is a POB from Chapter 3, which I think is Yes 24. And it goes right here. I really love this POB. I think it's so cute. And then moving on, I have the last album card I needed, which in my last video, I was complaining about so much, but yeah, I finally got it. And then I have a bunch more POBs for this era. So the first one is MMT2. And then Inner Park 2. This one is so cute with the duck. And then I have Beat Road version 1. I love this card so much. I think it's so adorable. And I like that you can see his little teeth on the bottom. Then I have these Japan official store cards, which I only have one spot here, so I think I'm just going to keep these out for now. And then the last two cards are some non-album cards. Also, since the last time I filmed, they had their comeback, finally. Save Me, Kill Me is one of the best titles ever. CIX make real music, like that music video. Lord, it is intense to watch. But yeah, if any of you watching haven't heard their last comeback, it's so great. The most recent time I was in Atlanta, I bought a copy of each version and I actually pulled 2 Sunghoon cards, which is fun to see if I would pull him because prior to that comeback, I had never bought a CIX album sealed. I just bought them all opened with the photo cards. But yeah, I actually pulled 2 of his cards and I'll be putting those away next video. But right here, I have 2 merch cards. The first one is the Save Me, Kill Me tour photo card. I didn't have VIP, so I didn't get this card from my concert, but one of my friends on Instagram sold it to me since she had the VIP. And funny story, I actually thought this card got lost in the mail. I bought it around March because that's when the tour was at the end of March, and then it must have came like at the end of March, but I thought I lost this card to this day, or like yesterday, when I found this card under a pile of junk in my living room, like so many layers deep. I found it still in the envelope. I didn't even take it out of the envelope. I opened it up and then just set it there and then proceeded to put so much more stuff on top, and I just found this yesterday. I thought this was lost for the last 4 months. 100% convinced it got lost in the mail. Turns out I had it sitting around, which is the funniest thing that's ever happened, so I'm so glad I actually have that. And then the last card I have is his 4th Fix fan club card, which I actually bought that membership. And yeah, those were all of the Sunghoon cards I currently have. And yeah, I just need to buy his last 2 cards from Body, and then I'll be all caught up with the current comeback. Next up, I have a few enhypen cards. And honestly, I can't even tell you the last time I had enhypen cards to put away because I kind of fell out of them for a while. But their most recent comeback really did it for me. To be honest, I don't really like the title track. I think it's not really for me. I like most of it, but I hate that pre-chorus part, and it doesn't really have a bridge or an outro, it just ends. But the B-sides on that album is probably my favorite enhypen album of their whole discography. Like, the B-sides on this album are so amazing. Yeah, I decided to pick my enhypen collection back up, but I'm only collecting Sunwoo from now on. If you watch my channel, you probably know that all of this is like top 3, but I decided to just collect Sunwoo moving forward. And I have most of his cards for this era. I don't have all of them, but I didn't really plan to collect all of them. But yeah, at the top, I have all of his message cards from the 3 regular versions. I honestly have no clue what these are called. I think it's like Fate, Bite, and something else, but I don't really know. And then down here, these are the corresponding selfies to those versions. And this card right here is my favorite. I think it's so cute. It's like the most plain, but I don't know. I just think he looks really adorable here. And then these cards, one of them is Target and one of them is from his member version. I don't really remember at this point. And then lastly, I have the concept card that came from the member version. That is this page, really just 1/9 pocket of this era, and I am content. The only cards I don't have are his Weverse cards and then also the second Digipack card, but I don't really need that. I'm just really happy with this page being full. But yeah, that is everything I had for enhypen. Just wanted to say that the song Sacrifice is my favorite, and the intro to this album, yet another enhypen intro that deserves to be a full song. Like, enhypen have the best intros in all of K-pop, and it's like 30 seconds of singing. Like, I can't get over how good the intro is. It's my favorite song on the whole album, to put it that way. And it's 30 seconds long. But yeah, that was enhypen. And then lastly, before the 10 million Cravity cards I have to put away, I have a couple of random girl group cards that I've been accumulating. So the first card I have is this Chaeyeon Purple Kiss Pob from Geeky Land. I actually got this as a freebie at a K-pop store who were having this game where if you could list 3 members of any group in 10 seconds, then you could win a photo card. And I got this by saying 3 members of Pure and Harmony. Even though I don't really stand that many groups, I know like everyone in every group. I don't know. So I was like, that game was made for me, and I was really excited to get this card. Then next up, I have a bunch of gidle cards. So the first one I have is from I Love, or whatever this album was called. And it's this other one from whatever version this is of Oogie. And then I have 4 cards from I Feel. So these first 2 are the album cards. This is literally my favorite card of the whole era. I was so happy to find a trade. And then I have 2 Target cards from the 2 versions I bought. And yeah, just some random girl group cards I had that I've been holding on to for so long. And then lastly for this video, I have this entire giant stack of photocards, all for Gravity. I literally feel like Brianna right now, and this is only 3 members. Like, how? I don't even know, but these have been accumulating for so long. And also, since the last time I filmed a video, I've changed up this binder for the 2nd time. I think in my last video, I showed that I put everything in chronological order, mixing merch and album cards, but since then, I have put this entire collection in clear sleeves. So if you watch my channel a lot, you would know that I pretty much white sleeve all my ult collections, and then I clear sleeve everything else that are not ults. But I really just wanted this collection in clear sleeves. They're one of the only groups I collect that I actually like the photo card backs of, especially their merch cards. For example, like stuff like this, or these, and then their pobs. And then stuff like this, and also some of the ones in here. Just one of the groups that has never failed on photo card backs and design ever, so I just really thought Gravity was like the one group that deserved to actually be in clear sleeves. So yeah, that is an update. And now I'll get started putting all of this away. So the first card I have is from last era, where I finally got the mini Starship Square card that I was missing. That goes right here. It's his, like, spoon card, which is what Starship called it. So that is that. And then another merch card I have before moving on to the new era is this Starship Square card, which is going to replace this Taeyong card. Goodbye, Taeyong, you are being replaced, although he's kind of like my second bias, but for the sake of this collection, it has to be mini. So yeah, now that completes this row. And then the rest of this is literally all album, pobs, and merch that's been released since. This first page right here is units for the current era. I'm missing 2 of them, I think. And wow, since my last video, Gravity had their comeback with Groovy, and honestly, after the title Party Rock, I didn't think a title could ever top that song, but Groovy literally did. Groovy is now my all-time favorite title track from Gravity. And what's even crazier is I've now seen that song live, which is another thing that happened to me really recently, is that I saw Gravity twice on their tour. It was so amazing. They were so great, and it had the best benefits I have ever had for a concert. I had VVIP for 2 dates. I went to Chicago and Atlanta. For the VVIP, there was literally a fan sign, high touch, and group photo, and I had the snapshots, which I had never done any of that stuff for any group except group photo and high touch, but that was like one time. And it was also like the cheapest ticket ever. Man, going to concerts for smallish groups is just so great because the tickets are so cheap with better benefits because they can still have tours like of that size. It was crazy. It was so amazing. Then continuing on with this page, these are the version 1 units. These will be version 3, and then version 2 are at the bottom. And yeah, what I still need on this page is Serum and Jungmo and Serum and Woobin. Kind of unfortunate about this one, considering those are my top 2, but I actually don't really like this unit because version 3 is my least favorite anyway, so not really in a rush to get these, but here's my units.
And then moving on to album cards. While we're talking about Gravity, just needed to show these. These are my 2 fan sign albums that I got from the tour. And if you've ever gone to a concert with Studio Pav, then like, you know about like these fan signs, but yeah, you just go through the table and they sign your album like in front of you, and it was so crazy. And with this tour, you were allowed to bring any album you wanted, or they would provide you one there if you didn't bring one. But I brought these 2 from season 1, which are my 2 favorite like colors of albums. And it was special because 1, I matched both of my outfits to these colors, and 2, I pre-ordered these albums at debut, and the fact that I've had these for that long was just so crazy to have them sign these for me, because I've been standing since debut and been waiting for this tour for like 1,000 years. So yeah, I just was so happy that we got to bring our own albums, and I got these 2 signed. But back to photo cards, this whole stack right here is just album cards and Pobs. This first page is for all of the album cards, so the 3 different versions, which I have all 9 of these. My favorite version is version 1. I just really like the aesthetic of these cards. Then version 2. And version 3. So here's this page. Then moving on, these are the Starship Square related Pobs, and then the jewel case cards. So this first set is the Starship Square Pobs that went if you bought a jewel case. And then these are the jewel case cards. Actually, what happened to these? This has got out of order. Okay, these ones right here are actually the jewel case cards. And these Pobs are the ones that are if you bought a jewel case, which I love these ones because, like I said, version 1 is my favorite concept. Alright, so yeah, those are the jewel case related cards, and then lastly, these are the Starship Square regular cards if you bought the regular albums, and they're the ones that have the matching concept card. Alright, so that's this page, and I set them up in the same layout so that it would be the matching concepts on each page, which is what I've done for like every era. Then these are the Starship Square concept cards. And then this set right here is if you bought the set of 9 jewel cases and 3 albums from Starship Square. And I love these because they're the suits, which is like my favorite scene in the music video, which again, Groovy is the best music video Gravity have ever had. It is so aesthetically pleasing, and all the different shots and scenes. Love this so much. Alright, and next up, all of these are Pobs. I think they're in the correct order, except these papers are not really accurate anymore because I decided to change up the layout, but I put these all in like chronological order of when these outfits were worn. The first ones are all just from the music video, like these are all music video outfits, but then at a certain point, these are like all the fan sign cards where they're from the different performance outfits, so that's the order I think these are in. Yeah, first one, I think this is MMT2. Then, yeah, I think these are out of order, so I'm just gonna ignore these papers and see if I can remember these off the top of my head. But this is MMT version 1. And this is Soundwave version 1. Yeah, after the last 2 eras where I essentially collected like no Pobs, I am back on my Gravity game. Gravity are like my 3rd favorite group right now, and the Pobs for this era were so good that I'm finally leveling back up my Gravity collection, because for the last 2 eras I collected like nothing. So I went so hard on this era. But yeah, next up is Apple Music, where they're holding ring pops. So that's the first page. Then next up, I think this set right here is Beat Road. And this is like the groovy pose from the choreo. The next up we have Joe and Music. And then this set is With Mew, and these were actually released as like April Fool's cards. I think that's when the fan sign was announced. And it made it look like this was going to be the photo card. Like this was the preview they gave for the photo card. But then turns out this was just the backs of the cards. But I love these photo cards so much. Especially the jackets they're all wearing. They were all wearing matching jackets for one of the performances. So I really wanted these cards because I loved the stage that was with it. And these backs are just so awkward. But yeah, then moving on. These are the photo cards that were in-person only fan signs. But they were also like the best cards of the whole era. So this first set was probably my favorite stage outfits of the era. They were by far the cutest outfits. Then there's this set. And for this last row right here, I actually have one last set secured from Bai, which will complete out this whole era of pops. But yeah, I collected 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pages of pops if you count the Starship Square, which is so many more than I did for the last 2 eras. But yeah, the pops for this era were just so amazing. But that is all I had for the album, and then the rest of this is all for merch that's come out, which is the rest of this stack. So this first page is for one of their fan meetings. So the first row is the set of photo cards you could buy as an OT9 set from Starship Square. And I truly do not understand this set because 8 of the members have a heart going this direction, and Minnie is the only member going this way. And I just don't understand what they were going for. Like, did they want Minnie to make the heart with every other member? It makes no sense. And it's also unfortunate because he can't even make a heart because this is an age order, so. But then the last 2 rows on this page are from the trading card packs. So each member had 4 trading cards, 2 selfies, and 2 concepts. And I have all of them. The bottom row is actually a cohesive set where they're all doing a finger heart, but this set is just kind of random. But yeah, that is this page. And then we have the concept cards. And then this last row on this page is for the 3rd Levity membership photo cards, which go right there. Hopefully there's enough pages left in here. But this last set is for the next set of trading cards they had, which were their Masterpiece Tour photo cards, and I have all of them. Again, each member had 4 cards, 2 selfies, and 2 concepts. So I'm gonna do the selfies first. So in the middle, I'm just putting their photo cards that came in the OT9 set that you could buy from Starship Square. And then on the top and the bottom will be the trading card sets, which are more cohesive this time than their last set. Here's the first one, and then the second one. There we go. And then the next page is for the 2 sets of trading cards. And then the very last Gravity cards I have for this video are from one of their photo books. This is the Remember Our Time photo book. And this card right here is actually Serum's Starship Square Pob. And then these 2 are the ones that came with the photo book. But this one matches better with Jungmo's card than the one that came in the OT9 set. And I actually managed to pull Serum's Starship Square, which was kind of crazy. So I'm just going to put it here because they look the same, but this one looks better. So we're just going to pretend that this is not a Pob. But for the sake of the page layout, I just want to put this one here. So yeah, that is all the Gravity cards I have for this video. I have no clue how many there were, but that stack was like the biggest stack I've ever had for Gravity, literally ever. But yeah, tour cards, photo book, more tour cards, fan meeting, fan kit, and then all the Pobs from this era. Then album cards and units. So just for this video alone, I put away all of this, plus a few more here and there. But yeah, I am just so in my Gravity ulting era right now. Like, I love them so much. And collecting them is also so fun. Everything is so cheap, and they have amazing photo cards. Starship knows how to sell merch and just understands the photo card game. Also, just wanted to show this. I put these away off camera because it would take forever for me to put these away. But these are all of the photo cards I have for the other 6 members, because I buy all of their merch myself, like from Starship Square, and with Starship Group, every product comes with the OT9 set. So rather than like getting rid of the other 6 members, I keep them because, again, I love collecting Gravity. So I've put them all in these spreads. Like, I always have, this is like Alan Wubin, Wajin, Tianjin, Tang, Songman. Even though Tang is like kind of my second bias with Jungmo, but he kind of just gets allocated here since I don't want to replace all the mini cards. But yeah, these are all of the sets of all the other 6 members. These ones I already had, these first 3 spreads, but then moving on, these are the other trading cards I had of other members. So this was like from the OT9 set, and these were just some of the extra trading cards I had. And then we have the other members of the OT9 set, and then more of the trading cards, and then this was from that photo book. And then I have all the pobs of everyone else. So yeah, like Apple Music, whatever these were called, then Beat Road, and then Joan Music. I don't have the Songman card because I bought a 8 card set because I really only needed my top 3, and it was way cheaper than the card that came here, so I don't have it, but yeah. And then with that last pop set I bought for my top 3, it will fill this row. And yeah, those are all of the other 6 member sets I have. I need to put them in this binder, but they don't really fit, so when I get a bigger binder, I will actually put all these in there. Yeah, there is so many of these. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I had for this video. It is like 5 months delayed, also like 2 months in the making of actually putting away the photo cards, and I could not be more happy that this stuff is finally put away. Like, it's been driving me nuts. I literally have been trying to film this for 4 months now. And then in my next video, it'll be ateez's most recent comeback, because I'll have a bunch of stuff for that. And then the other more recent comebacks that have happened since then. Also in like 2 days is ZB1's debut, which I'm so looking forward to. I'll probably be collecting 3 members of that. And then hopefully I'll have cards for them, which is a new collection. That was everything I had for this video. I don't even remember what I put away at the beginning. It's been so long, but I think it was ateez and WHEEEE. Comment down below any of your favorite comebacks that have happened over the last few months. Forgot to bring it up because I didn't put any cards away for it, but ateez's Bouncy was amazing, just as good as expected. The whole album is phenomenal. My favorite song is Django, and then the title is probably my second favorite. And my other favorite comebacks were obviously Gravity's Groovy, but it honestly was so long ago, it's not really considered new anymore. And then enhypen's entire album are my favorite 3 as of late. Also, my next video will probably be my updated photo card collection video since it's the middle of the year. But yeah, with that, that's everything for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.